This meeting in order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll open the floor then for nominations for 2018 board chair.
I will make a motion to appoint B.J. Hoffman as chair for 2018.
I will second that.
Any further nominations? Nominations cease. All in favor of B.J. Hoffman being board chair? Aye.
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 Okay. Abstain?
Abstain.
Okay. Congratulations,
Thank
Chair.
you.
You can take it over.
All right. Next thing on the agenda is appointing the vice chair for 2018. I'll open the nominations for the vice chair position.
I'll make a motion to appoint Renee McClellan as vice chair 2018.
I'll second that motion.
I move nomination cease.
Nominations ceased. Any further discussion? All in favor of Renee McClellan being the 2018 vice chair, signal by saying aye.
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 And I'll abstain.
Motion passes. Renee will be the 2018 vice chair. Next item on the agenda is to approve the agenda as posted.
I'll make a motion to approve today's agenda.
I will second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item would be the approval of the minutes from the December 27th, 2017 meeting.
Move to approve the December 27th minutes, 2017.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item was the January 2nd, 2018 claims for payment.
We
Make
don't
a
have any.
There were none, so go ahead and move on.
Oh,
The next item is the Hardin County Boards and Commissions appointments for 2018.
I will make a motion to approve the appointments of the individual supervisors to the various boards and commissions as presented.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I can second that, but I would like to ask for an amendment on one.
Okay.
As far as the alternate on Northeast Iowa Response Group, the alternate would be Lyle Jeske instead of myself.
Okay.
Okay. Amending the Northeast Iowa Response Group Board alternate to Lyle Jeske was the
Okay.
amendment.
So I'll amend my motion.
I'll second the amendment.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Of the amendment, and then
Yep.
vote on the motion.
And then, do I have, then we'll vote on the motion. All in favor of the approving the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Passes. The next item would be the ISAC, the authorization of county employees to attend ISAC meetings in 2018.
I'll make a motion to authorize the attendance by county employees to the Iowa State Association of Counties meetings during 2018, and those expenses be paid by the county, which the courthouse will remain open on those days.
I will second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Next item we have is the amendment to the personnel policy, section 8.2 in regards to 2018 holidays.
Make a motion to amend section 8.2 of the holidays of personnel policy to read Hardin County observes the following holidays each year as presented at the annual organizational meeting.
I will second it.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Is this just saying, aligning it so that our holidays just follow what you guys are appointing as our holidays? Is that all?
Yes.
Yes.
Correct. Hearing no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item we have is the approval of the courthouse, or the county holidays for 2018.
I'll make a motion to close on the following holidays for 2018. It would be Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday on January 15th, Memorial Day, May 28th, Independence Day, July 4th, Labor Day, September 3rd, Veterans Day, November 12th. Excuse me. Thanksgiving, November 22nd and 23rd. Christmas, December 24th and 25th. And New Year's Day, January 1st, 2019.
Okay.
Just looking at February.
I know.
I'll second that.
Okay. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Yes, you're making a big long dry spell between January and May. For us to have no holidays.
My comment would be that this aligns the county employee holidays along with the state holidays, which will allow us to fully close the courthouse on that day, and also for the custodians or the maintenance people to also get that day off.
The clerk court's open these days and closed these days.
Correct.
Any other discussion?
I have a question though. The federal banking system though is closed on Monday, President's Day. So does that interfere with anything that you do?
I mean, it shouldn't. I mean,
Okay.
we just won't have anything.
I know for us it won't on our side because we won't be writing any checks that day. That's not like payroll or anything, but I just was curious for you.
The time it did happen was when we were closed and the bank was open and we had a withdrawal that comes out, and that causes problems, but
Okay.
it shouldn't, the reversal.
Are there other days we're open and the banks are closed through the year?
Not that I remember.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. I'll ask for all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next item would be the 2018 legal newspapers for Hardin County.
I'll make the motion naming the following newspapers as legal newspapers for Hardin County 2018, the Times Citizen, the Ackley World Journal, and the Eldora Herald Index.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item we have are appointments to 2018 boards. First would be County Conservation Board.
We received numerous applications for the County Conservation Board, and the consensus was to do interviews for the County Conservation Board. So I would make a motion to table that.
Okay. I have a
I'll
motion-
second that.
Okay, I have a motion to table the appointment to the County Conservation Board. Any discussion? Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. The next would be the County Board of Health appointments.
I would make the same motion on that one. We received multiple applications on that, and we also discussed doing interviews on that also. So I'll make a motion to table.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
And on both of these, I would like the interviews to be done promptly.
Okay.
Agree.
Okay. All those in favor of tabling, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next item would be the MHDD Advisory Board.
I'll make a motion to approve the appointments of Mary Rosendahl, Sherry Manning, Allison Brennan, and Teresa Schulte to the MHDD Advisory Board.
I will second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Next would be the Board of Condemnation.
I'll make a motion to appoint the following individuals as listed as members of the Hardin County Board of Commendation for the term of 1 year commencing January 1st, 2018.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
We're still looking for real estate people and business people if they would like to be put on this as well.
Okay.
So your motion is for the reappointment of all the current members then?
As
Is
presented.
is presented? Okay. All right, I'll second it.
Okay.
You already did.
I did.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next item would be Zoning Adjustment Board.
I will make a motion to approve the appointment of James Sweeney to the Zoning Adjustment Board. It's a 5-year term commencing January 1st, of 2018.
Second that.
Okay, I have a motion, a second, any discussion?
His mom was on there. She asked to be removed, or thought she might have to be removed anyway. Her term was up.
Okay. All right, with no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next item, Zoning Commission.
I'll make a motion to appoint Stan Granzo and Katie Reich Schneider to the Zoning Commission.
I will-
5-year terms, January 1st, 2018.
I'll second it.
I have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. The next would be the Pioneer Cemetery Commission.
I'll make a motion to approve the appointments of Bill Trampy Sr. and George Butler to the Pioneer Cemetery Commission. Their 3-year terms commencing January 1st of 18.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. A motion, a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next item would be appointment of a weed commissioner.
I move to approve the appointment of Megan Dorman as weed commissioner.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next item would be Prairie Rivers of Iowa Resource Conservation and Development Board.
I'll make a motion to approve the appointment of Eric Nielsen to the Prairie Rivers of Iowa Resource Conservation and Development Board.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I don't know if we've ever contacted some of these people. We're reappointing them just so if they haven't told us they didn't want to be on here, there are no other applicants.
Correct. Okay. Have a motion and a second. Discussion finished. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, I have Historic Preservation Commission.
I would make a motion to table these appointments at this point in time. I understand they are wanting to become active again, but we haven't had no applications for those appointments, so I would make a motion to table.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on tabling the agenda item? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The next item is the Construction Evaluation Resolution.
I'll make a motion to approve the construction evaluation resolution.
I will second it.
I I have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Roll call.
Oh, okay. Roll call vote. Sorry.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Next, we have set the date and time for the 2018 regular board meetings.
This is a little different than we've done annually. We're looking at changing the regular meeting dates to the first and third
Thank you.
week, having them every other week. We've toyed around with it for a while, but here are the dates that are presented. 2018 regular meeting dates are January 2nd, 10th, 17th, and 24th, February 7th and 21st, March 7th and 21st, April 4th and 18th, May 2nd and 16th, June 6th and 20th, July 3rd and 11th, August 1st and 15th, September 5th and 19th, October 3rd and 17th, November 7th and 21st, December 5th and 19th. And I'll make that motion to approve these dates.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
This doesn't mean we can't have meetings in between if something was to pop up, but regular meeting dates as scheduled, or these are the ones we're looking at. It doesn't mean we're not going to be here on the other Wednesdays. I'd like to still have drainage on those days or other meetings as necessary.
And that would be at 10 a.m. here in the large courthouse conference room, correct?
Yes, 10 a.m. large conference room.
Okay,
So we won't pay claims every week then?
Correct.
correct.
I have to admit I'm reluctant but also just for the reason that it's always been done that way. I'm willing to try it. But I know it's what the people have become accustomed to. It's been that way for years, but I reluctantly will try.
And if it doesn't work, we can always go back to regular.
Yeah.
Yes, Julie?
So now your time with the public is cutting down then, in this forum, in this way. Your contact with the public now will be cutting down. That's what.
I think what it ended up being is we do have some meetings that, or enough meetings that are only 5 or 10 minutes long. And we're hoping to kind of combine some of these things so that we can, not have to do those 5-minute meetings, 10-minute meetings, but we will, like Lance said, we'll probably still be here on those days and available to the public for comment.
But there will be less contact, and this won't change anything having to do with public hearings for CAFOs and all those things.
No.
Which will
No.
remain the same.
Right.
Is that
I would
correct?
envision more on a public hearing for a CAFO unit if we're going to be having longer meetings, that we could do this, one of those meetings, depending on how the days fall, we could have it on a day other than the ones listed, so that we can focus more on just the CAFO unit instead of all business that week as well. It depends on the days. We might have to fit some in between those days, depending on when.
Yeah.
So the public has,
Yeah.
is
That's-
aware,
The-
has enough information.
And the second Wednesday of the month, I've never been able to attend an economic development meeting in Iowa Falls because our meetings line up with that. So there's some of those, and then with some of the ISAC meetings that we never are able to attend either, just because of the conflict of the dates. So,
I'd rather try to, myself, I would rather try to stick to these days so that they can be posted on our website and people can trust that business will be done on those days, rather than throwing meetings in here and there. To me, that's too confusing, and if it's an emergency situation where there's a time frame that has to be met met on a CAFO or something, that's fine, but I personally would still like to keep them on those days. I don't know.
Yep.
It doesn't matter to me one way or the other. I would just as soon try to do a CAFL unit in a timely manner and move forward, but we are restricted.
Well, we usually have a
deadlines.
couple weeks on those, so that it should be all right, but
And we also have public hearings on drainage, and I'd like to do the drainage meetings on the off weeks.
I agree, because Thursdays it's 3 o'clock before we're done and no lunch.
I want to pipe up and speak up on our website. All the board of supervisors, anything that's on their agendas that puts out is on our county calendar. And you can sign up to subscribe to our county calendar. So if you see anything added to it, you'll get notified by text or email. So there's ways to make sure you're kept up on any news items or calendar items, and everything that's put out from the board of supervisors goes into an agenda item and on a calendar item.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
I just want to say I oppose this for various reasons. The biggest one being that we're not going to pay claims every week. I've been in the position of being the person who enters claims and pays them, and we paid twice a month when I started. And it was a pain then. It'll be a bigger pain now because we have more things that are due in shorter time. We get our Visa bills and the payments due within 10 days. And they're not the only company that does that to us. And it's really gonna be a pain to do handwrittens and to track you down for 3 independent signatures or 2 signatures to make the payment. I realize that there's things that we are authorized to pay, like utility bills and whatnot in the code without your signature in advance. But for the most things, we had paid every week and gotten rid of the need for handwrittens because they're time intensive, and now we're gonna get back to that. So I just felt I wanted to state that. I'm opposed to this, but kudos for trying something new.
That was my,
That sounded negative.
that was,
I didn't mean it to sound negative. I meant kudos for trying something new. Smile. That's what I meant.
I had the same concern, so like I said, I'm willing to try it, so.
I have other department heads here, what are their feelings?
Are other counties doing this?
Few are.
It'll just be a matter of getting used to not having it, but, like Jessica said, some of our bills come in, and my one mail services bill comes in and it's due right away.
Right.
And I've had to call, I had to call and tell them I was gonna be late because we didn't pay claims one time, and they're understanding of that, but I don't know, I mean,
I have a question.
but.
On credit cards, I know on my personal one, I can call in and ask if the payment date can be changed. Could we make it so that it's due like the first Friday of the month so that we would be meeting on those days?
My understanding, because I didn't hear y'all were gonna do this at all, and Mindy let me know just recently that that was the game plan. And she said that she checked the credit card bills and the due dates should be for payment on the 3rd Wednesday of the month, which you're planning on meeting. And so if people get the mail on time, if it's delivered on time, if they get it coded and to her to be entered on time, they'll be paid on time. The problem is that doesn't always happen, and we all know that. People are gone, they don't get the mail a certain day, they don't turn it in a certain day, she's sick and doesn't enter them on a certain day. There's things that fall through the cracks, and where we always had that backup plan the next week, you're gonna lose that. So, and it used to be easier when the bank had the credit cards in-house because they could take extenuating circumstances and forgive certain fees. It's out of their hands now. And That's just one example, is the credit cards. And you're right, we could call all of our vendors and say, sorry, we're not gonna pay you this week, we're gonna pay you X week, because that's what we determine. But, I don't know, I just think this is gonna be a lot more work for Mindy. That's,
What about finance charges? I know I always stress to my secretary, make sure you get these turned in right away so we don't have finance charges assessed to us. And that gets a little tricky. Sometimes when you get the different bills, they give you like 10 days to get them in and get them paid. What happens with finance charges? Is the department going to be responsible for those?
there should be no finance charges assessed to the county, because Beth freaks out when that happens. The
Yeah.
county should not be paying finance charges to anyone, we should be paying our bills on time.
A handwritten would fall under that. Lori?
I've been here long enough that I was here when we paid bills once a month. And in the last, I don't know how many years, we switched to 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, and then every week. So we go back to every other week. I don't think it's gonna be a huge issue. But with all the credit card statements, I can see where that's gonna be tricky. That's the biggest hindrance, I think, is the credit card statements. Because they do with finance charges and the late, we say, sorry. And we tend to do that as a county too. I mean, we don't forgive penalties, do we, to people?
No.
I don't have authorization to, so no.
So like Jessica said, it's timeliness, yeah.
All the departments are just gonna have to pay more attention to their bills when they get them, and if we have to do handwrittens, we have to do handwrittens, I guess. But I can understand the concerns.
These ISAC meetings, are they, how frequent are those?
Twice a year.
Twice a year?
Well,
2 or 3 times.
Everybody's different.
depends on what kind of meetings you're gonna have.
Okay, and then, so you guys will show up here, perhaps, half as often. And I don't know how much you're paid, but does that then, but your pay will remain the same, yet theoretically you would be maybe coming in a third as often? Is that?
That's not accurate.
Not even
Is
close. On the off weeks, we still plan on doing drainage.
We changed
So you
subjects.
can focus
Yeah.
more
But we
on
can
drainage that
still-
week. And if we had to, we could do claims those days
But
also.
but the public will not have as much access to it, is that?
Drainage is still public.
But can other things be addressed at drainage meetings?
As far as,
Anything that might come up for us?
That would be a special meeting and then plus a drainage meeting.
But between the three of us, I mean, we are in the office most every day. I mean, so
What times would that be then?
it
So that
varies
someone
on the
could-
days.
Could theoretically come in and speak with you.
It depends on what times our meetings are during the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Dave, did you have any comments?
Unless you're wrong, no, I'm just kidding. No, I'm good with whatever. We'll make whatever work. We'll make it work.
Okay. So I have a motion and a second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is the medical examiner investigator agreements.
Make a motion to approve the medical examiner investigator services agreements with Marla Williams, Amber Gilmore, and Roger Pickering, effective January 1st, 18th through December 31st of 18.
Smoke signals. Okay. All right. So, you want to make a motion to
Sure.
open the public hearing?
Well, I think you've opened
Yeah,
it.
you already
I'll make,
Okay.
if there's no public comment or nothing received.
What are we amending?
Okay, looks like we're amending the sheriff's department.
Let's just, we'll go.
Dave,
Yep. let's just go ahead and go department by department on the, Justin, I'll share this with you, and I'll just ask for it back and get you a copy, okay?
126,410 on the sheriff's department. That's for your cars that you budgeted for last year that we purchased this year, so it carried over and then went back into, we just needed to do the amendment for this year on it.
Okay.
The attorney's office is $10,000. He had some dues that were $3,000 increase over the previous year. There's some other expenditures that he's taken on throughout the year. I don't believe he needs the full $10,000 at this point, but he could throughout the year.
Yeah, we have the majority of the year left, so.
Conservation's $81,342. 45,000 of it's the raise increase, roughly, and then the Hilker is 36,000, correct? And from the Hilker is the money that they're taking to reimburse for the IRVM for the pickup and the tractor.
Okay. Did you have anything to add to that, Wes?
No, that's
Okay.
pretty much the breakdown of it.
Supervisors 13,000 is for the attorney fees for the refinancing that we did last year. It was carryover for the attorney fees. IT and GIS is 25,000. That's if we add a second part-time employee. At this time, we haven't done anything with it yet, but it's here in case we do something.
And then IRVM is,
Oh, I skipped IRVM. Yep, I'm
is
sorry.
equipment purchases and supplies.
IRVM's is $151,465, equipment purchases and supplies.
Okay.
What kind of stuff are we buying in?
So,
She's.
tractor,
And part-time labor.
part-time seasonal labor will go into that. The tractor.
The tractor was right around $80,000
And more.
with the mower on it after trade-in. The slide-in unit for a spray unit, 8 to 10,000, somewhere in there. The rest of it, there's about 16,000 she projected for the part-time help.
And wasn't there a fire, was she
That's the
purchasing?
slide-in.
Slide,
The slide, oh, that's for the fire?
Yep.
right.
She did budget a full amount. She also purchased a hydro seeder and the truck that we're getting from secondary roads. But we already have 75,000 in that line item currently.
For the current budget year, so.
Yeah, so she
she'll
could use
utilize
from
that
that.
for the hydro seeder, the frame modification, and the vehicle itself will come out of the actual line item. Then the other will be for the tractor, the hardware for the tractor, the slide-in unit, and then the sprayer, the vegetation sprayer.
All right. Well, which sprayer?
The vegetation one is different than the fire apparatus. The weed
The cedar?
truck sprayer. No.
Oh, the
Like the
cedar.
one we
Or,
saw up in
sprayer.
Cerro Gordo County.
Mhm.
So that is the breakdown.
Okay, so we need to do these individually.
No, we're just in the public hearing right now.
Yep. So, any other comments in the public hearing portion?
I have a question. Then when conservation is amending to put this in so that they can do this, pay the salaries, and also to pay from the Hilker Fund to IRVM, is that going into it as a revenue to IRVM then? Okay, but it will the end of the, I mean, it'll be in there the end of the year, in that fund, just not in there to
Right.
spend.
You're not required to record revenues on the
Right.
amendment form. and
Right.
Quite honestly, it didn't even occur to me to put it in as a revenue on her side.
She'll
On the
just-
IRBM side.
I mean, in her budget, when she budgeted for revenues, that'll just be that much extra. Yep.
Any other comments? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to close the public hearing.
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor of closing the public hearing, say aye.
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 Aye. Public hearing is closed. Okay. So next item would be the approval of the budget amendment.
I'll make a motion to approve the budget amendment as published.
I will second that.
Okay. I have a motion and a second. Nancy, this recall a roll call vote, please.
Discussion.
Any discussion?
Discussion is as posted is with IRVAM at 151,000, conservation at 81,000. I know as discussed, we didn't talk about buying the sprayer this year. We talked about budgeting for it for next year. And this amendment has that in here.
Okay.
If we're gonna approve the budget as stated, we're heavy on the amendment, or we're fine with the purchase of a new sprayer also.
And I believe that was, I think the sprayer was in this, or at least to be able to initiate the purchase and get that for delivery.
Yeah, when we talked the other day, that wasn't
It
part
wasn't?
of.
Okay.
No. The
Then-
sprayer was to be working on the new budget, so
Okay.
after July
Okay.
1st, and maybe get some grants to help support that.
Okay.
Are you sure on that then?
I'm not then.
Conservations was,
Can I interject? Are you on approving the budget amendment? You're not on the resolution yet?
not yet.
Okay, we can't change the amendment. It either is or isn't. So don't do that yet. So just
Okay.
approve that.
Oh, all right.
Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
Okay.
So that discussion would be when we do this.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, approve this because this is what's published and you can't change it.
You can go lower,
Then you can go lower on the document.
but you can go
that you're
lower on
talking
an
about.
amendment as well, correct? You
Um,
can't go higher, you can only go lower.
Yes, but it would also require me doing new numbers and everything. And
Okay.
Yeah, but
Would you have to republish?
no, because it would be less
Yeah, it'd be
than.
less.
Right. But I understand, we can do
I
it,
look
we
at
can do
this
it
as
different in
like
the
our budget,
appropriations.
Where you plug in everything you want, and it's there, and then that gives the people the authority to spend it. So this, to me, is a no-brainer. You just say yes to this. And then when it gets to that document, the resolution and the appropriations, that's when you can pull the strings back and say, okay, we've budgeted and amended for this dollar amount, but we're only gonna give this dollar amount right now and be
Okay.
conservative.
Because we're not shorting ourselves
No.
by approving this.
Right. You're not spending the money. You're just
Right.
saying,
Okay.
this is authorized now by code of law to be considered for the appropriations.
Okay. I think I made the motion, didn't I? Okay.
Second. Discussion. Any further discussion?
Well, outside of the
Right, but
extra sprayer that was budgeted for.
right, but we can go back through and remove that on the appropriations resolution, the next agenda item. Okay. So all in favor of approving the record of hearing and determination of the amendment to the county budget, say aye.
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 May I have a roll call?
Oh.
Roll call, sorry.
I'm sorry, Renee.
Aye.
Lance.
Nay.
Aye.
Jay.
Okay, the next item would be the appropriations resolution to the budget amendment.
With the appropriations resolution, I will make that motion to appropriate the sheriff's $126,410, the attorney's $10,000, conservation, I would like to change to $55,342, IRVM to $100,000, supervisors $13,000, and ITGIS 0.
What was conservation again?
$55,342.
And what's the reasoning behind that?
I need a second before we go into discussion.
I'll second that.
As I talked to Wes, or you want to call for discussion?
Yeah.
As
Go
I
ahead
talked
and-
to Wes, we're meeting with the boards on the 9th with Calkins campus and
The friends, the trustees, and the foundation office from the college.
and the 26,000 was the increase of wages to the Calkins campus area, is why I pulled the 26,000 out. We can always appropriate it later, depending on how the money moves around. The 100,000 removes the sprayer out of that unit, and we can budget for the sprayer for the next year. And at this time, ITGIS has not hired anybody, so why would we put any money in there?
Okay, so Wes, the 26,000 that taking out in wages, what was, so, I mean, is that appropriate or not? What's your opinion?
I mean, as long as I have money at the end of the year to cover whatever the wages and stuff are, that's my concern.
And this increase, this amendment was because of the
step
bringing
ups.
people
Right.
to where they need to be.
Right.
And so this isn't overtime, it's not adding a position,
No.
this is just to get people to where they need to be.
Right.
Okay,
But as stated when we did the wage increase, that this would be taking place as well.
okay.
That what would be taking place?
That we would meet
Amendment.
with. No,
Oh,
we would
yes.
meet with the other entities. So before giving the wages to it, I would suggest that we don't give them the wages until we've met.
I have a question also, Wes. When you figured for the wage increases, did you take into consideration the overtime that wouldn't be paid any longer?
That's why we went from exempt to non-exempt, because we were taking away any overtime. There's only one position I have now that, the tech position we just hired, that's the only position I have now that earns overtime, or comp time, excuse me.
But did you take into consideration what you would have normally spent out of your budget for overtime that you're not going to be spending?
Yep, I had Kelly give me the last 3 years.
So that was taken out of what you figured for salary increases?
No, because the only time we pay that out is when someone leaves employment. Otherwise, it's earned as days off, time off, paid days off,
So you don't pay out it?
unless they leave.
Okay,
employment.
you give comp time. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Micah, I'd like your feedback.
Well, it just depends if we hire that person, then I'll obviously be coming back to you and asking for that appropriation, so.
Okay,
But right now, we don't know what we're talking about in terms of salary or time frame or anything like that. So
Okay.
it's just being proactive
okay,
and planning out the budget for the rest of the year.
okay.
Okay.
All right.
So you made the motion?
And I seconded.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Lance,
Aye.
BJ,
Aye.
Renee.
Aye.
Can you give me those revisions so I can redo it?
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Utility permits and secondary roads. Taylor?
Yeah, nobody wants to do right now.
Okay.
I'm sure you can figure out what our road crew's doing lately. Today, they were staying inside for a while. We don't want that equipment out there in this cold. It's gonna cause a problem, probably break down. Next week, we'll be doing our public hearing for a road vacation. Otherwise, things are going pretty good. They're pretty quiet.
Excellent. All right.
Scary thought on that one. You don't want it out in this weather because it could cause a breakdown, but yet we send them out in worse weather
Cool.
during emergencies.
Yep.
Yeah, I understand what you meant though.
Other business. Cindy, you drove down all the way from Iowa Falls. Tell us something good today.
We just keep working hard as we can up there.
Okay. Lori, anything? Don't hide back there.
Hey, it's going well.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
We like to hear those good things now and then.
Yeah. If there's nothing else, I'll ask for adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned.